Friends, I'm going to explain to you how we are going to be doing our reading assignment. So, we're going to do the exact same thing in class as you are doing on remote learning. So, don't worry if the first time is difficult. This is what we will be doing every Wednesday, and you will start to get used to it after a while. Think of today as a practice round. Okay, so I have your assignment open, and as you can see, it's the same story that you read yesterday. We are actually going to read the same story again, but I'm going to show you some features that you can use on the ebook program. First of all, one feature that I really like to use so that I can see better is you can click this button that says hide image right here, and it will hide the story image and give you a little bit more space to read. So I'm going to do that first. The second one you may have already figured out, but you can use this button, this play button right here, so that the story actually reads to you. I'll show you. I wonder if you'll be able to hear it in this video. We'll find out.
Grandma and the Great Gourd.
So it just read the title. I don't know if you could hear that in the video, but if you play it on your laptop, you'll be able to hear it. So basically, what you're going to do is you are going to be doing a close read. That means you're not only going to be reading, but you are going to be analyzing what you are reading. And analyzing is like taking a deep dive and really thinking hard about what you are reading. So I'm going to move my little picture over here because the features that you will need to use will be on this side. Now, there are 3 little tabs that you can click here. I want you to click on the tab that says Close Read. After you click on the tab that says Close Read, click on Analyze Plot and Setting. Remember yesterday we learned about plot and setting? Today we are going to learn to analyze the plot and setting. So I'm going to click right here, and it will open up a drop-down menu. You can press this play button to listen to this paragraph right here, but I'll just read it to you. I'm right here. The setting is when and where a story takes place. The plot is the sequence of events in the story, including the problem and resolution. A story setting often affects the plot. Analyze a story's plot and setting to help you better understand the text. Then it says, number 1, my turn, and you can scroll right in this box to keep reading. Complete these close read tasks for Grandma and the Great Gourd. Underline parts that help you analyze the plot and setting. Okay? And it will tell you exactly what you need to underline. Let's look at this first bullet point, this first directive right here. Okay, it says underline details in paragraphs 1 through 3 that help you picture where the story takes place. Based on these details, what is the story's setting? Briefly explain the influence of the setting on the plot. Okay, that's a lot. Now, what I want you to focus on is what you need to underline in the book. And I'm going to show you how you can underline in your ebook. But first, you will need to read paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 so that we can find where we need to underline what details help us figure out where the story takes place. Okay? So I'm going to read paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 for you. Once upon a time, in a little village in India, there lived an old woman whom everyone called Grandma. She loved gardening and had the best vegetable patch in the village. Grandma lived by herself in a little hut at the edge of the village next to a deep, dark jungle. At times, she could hear herds of elephants lumbering on the forest paths. Thump, thump, thump. Or giant lizards slithering over dry leaf. Cash, cash. She didn't mind because she had 2 loyal dogs, Kalu and Bulu, to protect her. They also helped her with garden chores. Okay, so I already see a detail that helps me understand and picture where my story takes place. Okay, I first see right here in a little village in India. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my cursor which is that little line right next to the I and in. I'm going to click down with my mouse, and then I'm going to drag with my finger because I'm on a laptop. So I'm dragging with my finger, and then I'm going to let go. And this box will pop up. You either can click highlight, circle, or underline. So this told you to underline. So we are going to click the underline button. And then I believe, let me move my little picture, you can click save. Okay, I don't think you need to click save, but you can just hit the X button and it'll still be there. Okay, so that was one detail that helped us understand the setting of the story. Let's see if we can find another one. Because I know that the setting is where the story takes place, and this tells me exactly where, in a little village in India. What about this detail right here? It says, Grandma lived by herself in a little hut at the edge of the village next to a deep, dark jungle. That definitely tells me more about the setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight right here. So you have to highlight first, and then it'll tell you you can underline it like that. And then I'm going to hit the X button. And there we go. Now, you have some more of these to do. If you would like, you can answer this question either out loud or just on your own in your head, where it says, briefly explain the influence of the setting on the plot. So how does the setting affect the plot, that sequence of events and the things that happen in the story? So what I think is that this setting in the jungle affects the plot because I remember that the animals are talking to Grandma and going to eat her, and she probably wouldn't have animals to worry about if she didn't live in the jungle. Those are just things to think about. I only want you to do the underlines, and if you want to, you can think about the other things. Okay, this one says, underline details in paragraph 4 through 6 that help you understand that Grandma's daughter lives in a different place. Okay, so you'll go to paragraphs 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to read those to you. One day, Grandma received a letter from her daughter who lived on the other side of the jungle. Please come and visit me, said the letter. I haven't seen you in so long. I miss you. Grandma misses her daughter, too, and decided to visit her. She was a little scared about traveling through the jungle where so many fierce animals lived. But then she said, what's life without a little adventure? Okay, so I do see some details in there. I'll move my picture again. In paragraphs 4 through 6 that help me understand that Grandma's daughter lives in a different place. Okay, so I'm going to show you what details I found, and we'll see if they're the same as what you found. So I see that Grandma received a letter from her daughter who lived on the other side of the jungle. That definitely tells me that her daughter lives in a different place. So I'm going to underline right there. What about this one? Please come and visit me, said the letter. I haven't seen you in so long. I miss you. Well, I know if somebody hasn't seen somebody in so long, they probably live far away, right? So that definitely tells me that her daughter lives in a different place. I didn't really see anything in paragraph 6, and that's okay. So usually you'll have just 2 or maybe 1, 2, or 3 things to underline for each directive, okay? So we did that one, paragraphs 4 through 6, okay? Now you'll move on to the next bullet point. It says underline details in paragraphs 8 through 12 that suggest that Grandma might be in danger. So what you will do is you will keep on reading. Now, notice that it doesn't talk about paragraph 7. I still want you to reread paragraph 7 so that you remember the story. And then look for details in paragraphs 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 about details that Grandma might be in danger. Okay, I'm going to leave you to it. Just remember that this is practice. You are allowed to listen. You can hit the play button and the pause button to stop and follow along with it. Just practice, and you're only doing the underlines. So I'll show you there are all these underlines here, and it goes all the way to the end of the story. When you reach this number 2 that says text evidence, Don't worry about that. We're just doing underlines today. And I know that before, I think on Sunday night, I put highlights as well. I'm going to take that off of the schedule. We're just doing underlines today. All right, good luck, you guys. Have fun. And I hope you get to know your ebook a little bit better this way. Bye.